Hey, Bulldog family. This is Coach Q here. I'm recording this video just to put out some new changes that I'll be implementing moving forward for our 6U flag football team. Specifically because we now have 20 players, 20 players on our roster, and I know I've said this before, but I'm just going to double down on it. Again, it is absolutely important to me that every single one of our 20 players has the opportunity to experience healthy competition at the city level and get on the field. That matters. It matters more than anything. I'm not saying that winning doesn't matter. Obviously, winning definitely feels good, and quite frankly, who wouldn't want to win a city championship, right? Go to the playoffs and win it all. Obviously, that is a desire for us as a coaching staff and really as a program. But that desire does not subordinate our desire to help our players learn, grow, and develop and experience what it's like to be out on that field and compete, right? For some of our younger players, maybe competition can be slightly intimidating, and that's okay because if they're experiencing that now, the more they grow and the more they experience, this time next year, they'll be on a whole nother level. And so that matters to me. All right. That absolutely matters to me. So what I will say that the challenge though is there can only be 7 players on the field at a time. So how do you guarantee on a roster of 20, how do you guarantee that every individual will get an opportunity to start or at least get an opportunity to play on the field consistently? And so what I've done, which I'll share my screen now, what I've done is I've rearranged a lot of the positions. Excuse me. I've rearranged a lot of the positions so that each player at a minimum is starting either on offense or defense for red or blue squad. And what I've also done, what you'll see here, is I'll go ahead and share my screen now. What I've also done is I've set it up to where you are absolutely guaranteed to touch the field at a minimum twice every 8 possessions. That's either on offense or defense at a minimum 2 times. And so let's just talk through what you'll see here. So first and foremost, for every individual that is starting on offense, or excuse me, what I'll say is if you're not a starter on offense, at a minimum, you are a starter on defense. Now, there are some players that are going to get an opportunity to start both ways for a specific squad, and that's fine. But with 20 players, what I can guarantee, or the way that I've set it up here, is that you'll be starting at least at a minimum on one side of the ball. So if you see you're a backup center or a backup 2 or a backup 4, then that means you're a starting rusher or starting safety or a starting rover on the other side of the ball. Right. And so same thing for red squad. Right. So just give everyone an opportunity to review their name or their child's name and where they are moving forward. For some people, for some players, there may be no changes here, and that's fine. But I just want everyone to be able to review this. So I'm gonna fly through this part because I want to actually get to the lineups. But here again, so for blue offense. The blue starting offense has not changed. Clay is still the center. Xander is still the quarterback. Julian is still the 1. Mason is still the 2. Hendricks Jones is still the 3. Jordan's still the 4, and Khalil still the 5. That has not changed. The backups. Watson is the backup center. Christian is the backup 2. And Ariana is now the backup 4. So that part has not changed at all. There were definitely some changes on Blues defense, though. Because I'm still trying to posture us in the position to play better defense, specifically better contained defense, while being aggressive with flag pursuit. So Ariana will now be our starting rover. She will be in the middle of our defense, pursuing the ball the moment the ball is snapped to pull a flag. And then you have Hendricks, Jones, and Watson as her rushers. Next to them, you have Khalil and Christian. And then you have Xander and Julian protecting the outsides, playing contain. For red offense, your starters. Braxton is now the starting center. I really liked Braxton when he was snapping. He inserted himself. What game was that? It was the very first game of the season against West Side Knights. And at the time, I think I had him lined up at one. He didn't want to play one. He lined himself up at center, and he snapped the ball very well. Okay, all right. So he's our center now. So he's going to be the center, snapping the ball to Axel. For red offense, Camden will be his backup. Maverick is still the 4. Quinzel will be his backup, my son. Hendricks is the 5 still. Ariel is now going to be the starting 1 on red offense. Adrian is still the 2. Elliot is his backup, and Jason is still the 3. That did not change. And then on red defense, Ariel is the starting rover. So I have the Twins on defense starting at all times. One of the Twins will be on the defensive side of the ball at all times, in the middle of that defense pursuing the ball. On each side of Ariel, you have Elliot and Axel. Outside of them, you have Camden and Quinzel. And then you have Hendricks, Hinton, and Jason protecting and containing outside. Remember that drill that we did, that contain drill that we did, and we're going to continue to do even in tomorrow's practice, is absolutely vital to how we approach our defense. Now, let me get to the much more important part. So what I've done is and I'm going to wind up printing these out as well and placing them into our coaches' binders. But what I've done is this is how I've guaranteed that any player is absolutely guaranteed their spot on the field when their particular squad is called. So what I've done is I've set up 8 different squads per possession, right? So for the first possession of the game, assuming we win the coin toss, versus the second possession, all the way through the 8th possession. So let me just run through it and make sure it makes sense to everyone. So you have blue 1 offense is Blue's starting offense. So we win the toss, we'll get the ball first to start the half. I'm going to call out blue 1 offense, blue 1 offense. And that is blue starting offense. This is no different than what we just talked about. However, blue starting defense. So the blue 1 defense, there are 3 people on blue 1 defense, as I said earlier, those who are starting for Blue's defense. And this is what that looks like. So second possession, we go on defense. Here's the blue 1 defense. The third possession of the game, red 1 offense. So red's starting offense. This is what that looks like. And then red's starting defense, 4th possession of the game. This is what that looks like right here. All right. 5th possession of the game, blue comes back on the field, but now it's blue 2 offense. So now if you let's see, the 3 individuals who were not on the blue 1 offense were Ariana, Christian, and Watson. So now when I call blue 2 defense, blue 2 offense, these are the individuals that are now coming on, where the other 4 remained the same. This is what the blue 2 offense looks like. And this is what the blue 2 defense looks like. All right. And then last but not least, for the 7th and 8th possession, the red 2 offense, Quinzel comes on, Camden comes on, and who am I missing? Elliot comes on. Because so Elliot comes on as the 2. And the red 2 defense, like I said, Ariel was already there, Elliot, Axel, Maverick comes on, and Adrian comes on, because they were starters on offense and not on their red 1 offense, as well as Braxton. Braxton comes on. So that's the 8th possession. Therefore, on the 9th possession of the game, right, assuming the game lasts that long, on the 9th possession, it just goes right back to blue 1 offense. And we go through the exact same rotation again, over and over again. Here again, setting it up this way absolutely guarantees that your child is for sure guaranteed to touch, to get on the field at a minimum twice every 8 possessions, right? Every 8 possessions, they will absolutely get on the field twice. And so the last thing I kind of want, just kind of want to go over really quick as I'm going through this. Subs. So for substitutions, right? This is really important. I am fully aware, right? The children are on our team. We do have a 7-year-old, so from 7 all the way down to 4 years old. I'm fully aware that in the middle of the game, we have individuals who may need to go to the potty, right? Or come out the game for other various reasons. Completely understand that. The guarantee that this system provides, though, is that if I call, I'm going to use, let's just select someone random from blue to offense. Let's say Watson, right? If I call, hey, Coach April, Coach Pat, I need blue two offense on the field, blue two offense. 100% guaranteed Watson has his spot on the field. That is his spot. Period. End of story. Now, if Watson has to come out, Watson has to go to the bathroom or whatnot, and we have to sub someone in, we want to keep that sub, on the blue side. But if Coach Pat or Coach April decides to sub someone in for red temporarily, just based on what's available, understood. But we really do want to stay with color integrity. And then as soon as that player is ready and available again or out of the potty, blue two offense is still on the field, that player has every right to come back and take their spot because that is their possession that they are guaranteed to be able to participate, right? That is my way of guaranteeing that all 20 of our players will be able to see the field, within that rotation cycle. So that is essentially, here again, all these will be printed out and laminated inside our coaches' binders. But please take a good look at this. Let me know if you have any questions, comments, or concerns. But that is it. That is it. So I'll stop sharing my screen now. There we go. I'll stop sharing my screen now. And thank you, everyone, for the hard work and effort. All right. Go Bulldogs.